this time we're really through. But I know this good thing I got to follow you. Oh. Please remember when you wonder what was true.
When did you know she was the one? I have about 10 or so different answers. I can share things with her that I haven't been able to share with anyone else, and she's been able to share them with me. I guess my vow to you is I'm gonna keep making this list longer. I'm gonna keep looking for those things that I know that you're the one for me.
'Cause what we have together in there forever. Listen, baby, how could
I never thought I would be standing up here today, like I never thought I'd be a cat person. And we're all very lucky to have you in our lives, just like Freddie's lucky to have you as a dog dad. I cannot wait to see what the futures hold for us, and thank you for being the one and the only for me. And yes, it also means Kitty, Freddie, and everybody else in this room.
just remember when you're crying all alone? Ooh, the bittersweet taste of what you're on your own. Hey.
When I gave you all I could, do all the bad and good, but you just couldn't be what I could be.
How could anyone love you better? 'Cause what we had together was meant forever. Listen, girl, now how could anybody love you better than me? That's just something I'll never see.
So we are gathered here today to witness and celebrate the marriage of Adam and Jesse. Again. Surprise, they've actually already been legally married since February, so I bet you guys didn't already know that. Now, I wish I could tell you guys a single story about Adam and Jesse that summarizes their relationship, but there isn't one single event that encapsulates their story, except for one, Hinge. So many of you may know, or not know, Jesse and Adam met by swiping right. These two lovebirds met through online dating. But how did these two end up online? Forcibly, of course. I've actually convinced Jesse to get on Hinge, and Adam's friends happen to do the same. So one fun fact is that these two actually did grow up in the same neighborhood. They went to the same elementary, middle, and high school together, and they never even knew each other. On that note, both Adam and Jesse's brothers also went to the same high school together, but I bet they never thought they'd end up as family. Fast forward to today, Adam's now a professional baker, and Jesse is an avid cat lover, all thanks to each other's influence. What I wish for them on their wedding day is that their life together as a team is one of complete contentment and more positive influences on each other, full of those moments that they wish would never end, and that they continue to make each other laugh as they do make all of us. At this time, Adam and Jesse will exchange their vows to each other.
Who's going first? Okay. Okay. So I didn't really write something down. I've just got a list, so I'm going to try and power through it. I didn't really know what to vow to you. That's something I haven't already said. The only thing that kept coming to mind when I was thinking about this was something my mom kept asking me. When did you know she was the one? You've asked me that so many times, and I have about 10 or so different answers. So, number one, it was our mutual love for Phantom of the Opera. So that was the first thing we connected on when we were talking on Hinge, and I just knew right away. I was like, gotta keep talking to her. Number two, we had 8-hour-long FaceTimes almost every day. It was throughout the day, and my friend Austin would do an impression of me walking around the house, just. Number three, she accepted my weirdness right away. You know, any of my interests, like with anime or with like weird cooking. She never judged it once. She loved that I did it, and that's something I didn't get always from anyone else. So I really appreciated that. Number four, she completed a show that I showed her, an anime called Death Note. Some of you might know it or might not. That's okay. Really weird anime. I showed it to her, and then the next day I was at work. She's like, I finished it by myself. So I thought that was amazing. Number five, when we got Fred, it just showed me how loving and caring you are and you can be to him and me and whoever else. Number six, She bought me Pokemon cards. Number 7, we can rewatch the same show on Netflix over and over again, Great British Bake Off. I think we've watched every single season more times than I can count, and we'll probably watch it when we get home. She laughs at my jokes when no one else does. And number 9, I can share things with her that I haven't been able to share with anyone else, and she's been able to share them with me. So that's all I have written down, but I guess my vow to you is I'm going to keep making this list longer. I'm going to keep looking for those things that I know that you're the one for me. And this will turn into a book, I'm sure. So.
You have mine. No. I came prepared. Not really. So Adam, thank you for putting up with me and all of the oopses that have happened in our life. Not what you all are thinking. But like when I knocked the gate off the wall right when you spent an hour putting it together. And then 2 minutes later, I knocked it off the wall. I never thought I would be standing up here today. Like I never thought I'd be a cat person. And here we are. And I love that you don't take yourself too seriously. And we're all very lucky to have you in our lives, just like Freddie's lucky to have you as a dog dad. I cannot wait to see what the futures hold for us, and thank you for being the one and the only for me. And yes, it also means Kitty, Freddie, and everybody else in this room. So, thank you.
So, that was beautiful. Let's do this. So, Adam, do you take Jessie to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold in sickness and in health, in good times, not so good times, for rich or poor, keeping yourself unto her for as long as ye both shall live?
I do.
Jessie, do you take Adam to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold in sickness and in health, in good times, not so good times, richer, poorer, and keeping yourself on to for as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Wonderful. Okay. So, now we're going to go straight to the rings. A ring is an unbroken circle with ends that have been joined together, and it represents your union. It's a symbol of infinity and of your infinite love. When you look at these rings on your hands, be reminded of this moment, your commitment, and the love you guys now feel for each other. So Adam, please place the ring on Jessie's fingers and repeat after me. Jessie, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love, with the pledge to love you today, tomorrow, always, and forever.
Jesse?
Oh, help him.
Yeah.
Now, Jessie, place the ring on Adam's finger.
Gosh.
And repeat after me. Just, yes, you guys do this.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, what she said.
Oh, is that too fast? I'm
Yes.
sorry.
That's perfect.
Now, Jessie, please repeat after me. Adam, I give you this ring
Adam, I give you this ring
as a symbol of my love,
as a symbol of my love,
with the pledge to love you
with the pledge to love you
today, tomorrow, always, and forever.
today, tomorrow, and always and forever. Thank you. That was much more pleasant. Sorry, Adam.
Not bad. Sorry, guys. Okay, well, that was beautiful. Thank you. Before these witnesses, you have pledged to be joined in marriage. You now have sealed this pledge with your wedding rings. I now pronounce you husband and wife, and Adam, you may kiss the bride. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a world that is consistently filled with options, okay, In a world that's consistently filled with options, these two made a choice, and the choice was to be with each other. So if this has taught all of us one thing, and one thing only, always swipe right. Now, by the power vested in me, and by Jesse's handwritten card telling me this was my role, it's my honor to declare you guys married. So you may now seal this declaration with a kiss, and I'm so pleased to present the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Miller.
So, I've written this thing 3 or 4 times. And I'll write it 3 weeks later and I'll read it and I'll go, that's crap. And I've rewritten it and I've rewritten it. But I think I have an idea of what I want to say. Wrong, right? So I thought long and hard about what the secret is to a happy marriage. We've been married 33 years. My parents 68 years. Wow. Right? So after much thought and consideration, I came up with, I have no idea. And I mean that from my heart of hearts. So good luck. Seriously, my first thought was to ask Lisa, right? But I figured we don't have that long for her to tell me what makes a happy marriage. But the secret is, in my opinion, well, first let me back up some. So Lisa asked me one day, soon after we were married, we were eating. I love to eat. I don't pay any attention when I'm eating. But she said, I want to have a baby. And she had a plan. We're going to have babies, get married, buy a house, white picket fence, yada, yada, yada. Right? She had it all planned out. Me, I had no plans. I always have flown by the seat of my pants in life. But I got to thinking about it, and I thought that's kind of what works, right? You guys come into this thing with different personalities, different interests. Like one of your interests you have in common is Phantom of the Opera. Who knew? I mean, that's crazy. You guys both like Phantom of the Opera, but that's awesome that you do. But it takes different personalities and different interests. You both love animals. Freddie and Kitty are sweet as the day is long. Phantom of the Opera, Jessie loves her Broadway shows, she loves her Disney movies. She was always a little princess singing up in her room. Adam likes the martial arts, right? And the MMA fighting. I don't see Jessie doing those. But if she did and she put her in a cage, all my money would be on her. Right? You guys are both passionate. Jessie loves HR. Adam loves being a paramedic. He cares for people. It's very sweet. But to keep you got to keep your marriage fresh and exciting. It's important to share each other's interests. Be passionate for one another. Always make your relationship top priority. Have each other's backs. Love and support one another. Always be yourself with each other. Learn to laugh with each other, not at each other, but with each other, at yourself. And don't let the struggles of life get in the way of your relationship. Keep building, and the most important thing is be patient with one another. You're going to drive each other crazy. Right, baby girl? It happens, right? You've been married long enough, you're going to drive each other out of your minds. But don't say hurtful things to each other. Always remember your spouse is your ride or die. Enjoy every day together, but always keep a sight on the long-term picture. Bring people into your lives that help build your relationship, and remove people who don't. It's really simple. It's not about winning a fight, it's about ending a fight. And it's always simple to end it by saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll do something tonight that I got to apologize for.
The umbrella worked pretty well too.
But patience, you guys met during COVID. That's crazy. You waited all that time to actually get together with one another, so you already have shown a lot of patience with one another. Jessie, you've always been my little squirrel. Ever since I first held you in the airport, and I said, I'm your daddy, you'll always be my little squirrel. But you are also a modern day, strong woman with a strong sense of right and wrong. This, I'm going to quote Shakespeare, like I have any idea who Shakespeare is. At least they gave me this one. Though she be little, she is fierce. That sums you up, I think. Adam, I knew you were the right man for my daughter when I met your parents. I can see the caring nature that you have in you from your mom, Cecilia. And after I met your father, Al instilled in you, when I met him, he had a warm handshake, he had a warm smile, and a genuine sincerity to him, right? You are without attitude, you're just a really righteous guy, a righteous dude, man. I quickly realized you're cut from the same cloth as your father. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I knew I could depend on you to love and care for our little squirrel. Your calm nature and genuine concern for people's well-being are attributes I believe blend well with our daughter. So enjoy your lives together. We're all here to support you. Your love story will make a great Disney movie. Beauty and the Prince. So everybody, soul of the day. We love you guys.
So for those of you who do not know me, I'm Zach. I am the man of honor for Jesse. Jesse and I met after college, even though we went to the same college. And we had a mutual friend who, if he wasn't hanging out with me, was hanging out with Jesse. And after college, he got us all together, and Jesse and I met for the first time at a soccer fundraiser. And after that, it was just instant. We clicked. We had the same interests. We loved movies. We loved TV shows, everything. Like half our conversations are, what have you been watching recently? Have you checked this movie out? Have you watched this show? Like everything. Like we were just instant, and like it just took off from there. We've been best friends ever since. Like Jesse is the one person that I talk to the most out of all of my friends. I have 2 small children, and at the end of the day, don't have the energy to really talk to a lot of people. But Jesse is the one person that I make a lot of effort to talk to, because she is the most caring person in the world. She will do anything for anyone else. I mean, she shows up. She never shows up to my house empty-handed. No matter how many times I ask you to stop bringing toys for my boys, you still show up with something for everyone. You are just the kindest soul I've ever met, and just we love you. And Adam, I know we haven't got a chance to hang out all that much over the course of your guys' relationship, but I look forward to getting to know you a lot better as you do. And we love you guys, and congratulations.
Jesse, you look gorgeous tonight. You are a wonderful person that deserves the perfect guy. Too bad we don't always get what we deserve. Instead of getting Rowdy, you got the Phantom. Oh, wait, sorry. All right, so I'm going to share some stories with Adam. Everyone's heard about them together. I'm going to tell you some stories about Adam over the years. So I first met Adam, as a lot of his career has been in karate. I went to manage the karate school up in Urbana, and he had just gone off to college. And I kept hearing about this guy from some of the other people. They did not have a lot of beautiful things to say about him at the time. I feel like he's kind of we'll keep it politically correct. So I was like, okay, like, whoa, what else is this guy? Like, he's got to be like a black belt, first degree, second degree. He's like a purple belt, just like the middle. I was like, y'all are scared of a purple belt? Okay. But he came back and we started training together. But we really didn't hang out a whole lot for the first couple of years that I knew him. Eventually, I ended up getting him a job at Kicks, and he's like, okay, great, we're finally going to work with Lee. And then they shipped him right off to another school. So finally, one day after he was working at that school, the guy that he's working for decides, well, he goes on vacation. And I told Adam, I was like, hey, if you need any help, just, text me. I've been doing this for a while now. And so one night, I don't even think he said anything, but I just texted him like, hey, man, want to go to beat-ups? So we did, and that started our friendship. And for many years, when we were both single, we used to always go out to different bars around the area. And we used to frequent, and we were always the life of the party at the bars. We used to frequent this one dive bar in Spring Ridge. And it was a very small bar, we're dancing there one day, and I never thought we danced like real provocative or anything like that. But this woman comes up to us, she's probably in her early 40s, and she said, have you guys ever, this was a few pounds ago, let's preface that. She goes, have you guys ever thought of becoming strippers?
Oh my God.
And so we kind of laughed, and she was, you don't remember the story?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, okay. I was like, we kind of laughed it off first, like, no, I'm dead serious. Like, you guys really could do it well. You could make over 6 figures. So we're like driving back home and like kind of contemplating this story, like, do you really think you can do it? No, I'm too bad. Well, maybe we could do it. So we ended up not doing it. What? Adam does always have a way with words. One of my favorite stories with Adam was when we went to, I think it was Uno's, and he tried to order a deep dish pizza. Okay. His letters got a little mixed up, and he ended up saying a deep, another word that starts with D-I, which I will leave out because I would like to keep this PG. And to compound this error, there was a long pause after this. So it was, I'll get a deep, and then there was just that long pause. I was like, okay, you clearly messed that up. At some point, we started living together. I think it was in 2017. He actually gave me my first cooking lesson. And Adam is a very good cook, very good martial arts teacher, not the most patient cooking teacher, I would say. And the other thing, his pots and pans and knives, spotless. The rest of the dishes in the sink, however, stayed in the sink. And I was talking to our friend Austin, and he was saying, because he lived with Austin too, and he goes, I was actually amazed at how many dishes Adam could stack before he finally left him. No. He has one of the loudest laughs you'll ever hear. We used to do a couple road trips. We used to go to Cedar Point for a couple years. And there's a video, we had like this hammer machine. And instead of like it being a bell, it like lights up. And if you get to the top, like ding, like a really nice sound. So he did it, boom, nice. So I did it and I missed it. And I hit like the side, so I went, and at the very end of the video, you just hear his enormous, and then it cuts. On that same trip, we found out, well, he informed me at least, that he does a great imitation of Miss Piggy doing a karate chop. How you figure that one out? It's beyond me. Maybe if we're lucky, you can give us a little. It's okay, we'll do it later. On this same trip to Cedar Point too, we drove in and we're blasting the Pitch Perfect soundtrack. And to answer your next question, yes, we've been asked many times if we forget. He's got a big heart, he's very sentimental. We were watching Coco one time. Movie Coco, for those who don't know, it gets a little sad at the end. I'm sitting there next to him on the couch, a little teary-eyed. I look over at Adam, he is bawling. I was like, it's okay, but don't worry. And he taught me indirectly how to become a neat freak, because maybe he's changed, but he wasn't exactly a neat freak at the time. So my wife may disagree that I'm a neat freak, but yeah. He's always been a great friend, a great training partner over the years. He can always make me laugh. You can always find a good show to watch and tell me like 85 facts about the actor that's playing. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. He's always wanted to find love, get married, and start a family. He's always seemed to be dating the wrong girl, and I've never really cared for any of Adam's ex-girlfriends, including my cousin. But you can see Adam was starting to get serious with his life. He told me one day that he wanted to join the fire academy and become a firefighter. Of course, I made a joke, I'm gonna go save the trees, I'm gonna go save the cats in the trees. And then, fun fact for Adam, I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, he actually did not get in the first time he applied for the fire academy, but being the persistent person he is, he kept working at it and got in the next time around. Then COVID happens, and he's on a Zoom call with our friend Amanda and I don't remember if there's anybody else on it. And, we're asking, what's going on, because he's, everyone's isolated. I think you might have even had COVID when we talked about it. And, we gave him a gentle push to, you should join a dating site. And he kind of was resistant at first. He was like, I don't know, I'm just kind of feeling down in the dumps about himself. And then about a week later, I get a text from him saying, or a couple weeks later, like, hey man, I met someone. And I'm really excited. He's like, I don't know what it is, but something feels different. And you could see a change in him. Every time I talked to him, he was always spending time with her. And you could clearly see that Jesse is the perfect person for you. So I could not be happier for you guys.
And I'm Mark, I'm the other co-best man as well. I've known Adam and Jesse for what feels like our whole lives, but I also decided to keep this pretty short and sweet rather than having 2 full speeches between us. So I just wanted to share that it's an honor to be here and celebrate with you both. And the one story I wanted to share is that I remember after you had your first date, Adam kind of called me and was really excited to tell me about it because it just so happened that I knew who he went on a date with, and it was a funny coincidence. And at the time, because me and Jesse had gone to school together and gotten to know each other over our lives, and at the time I thought it was funny, but I think looking back on that experience, the thing that he was so excited about probably wasn't a little coincidence. He was probably just really excited to have met Jesse. So, yeah, looking back, you can almost tell from that call already that he was smitten with you from the start. But one of the only things I love more than both of you individually is both of you together. And it's amazing having the excuse to have Jesse come back into my life and continue being friends because I have such good memories in science, joking around with you and stuff like that. So I'm so happy for both of you. I love you both.
Ain't nobody better, baby.